Hey guys, welcome back to the Blue Tourist channel, and I'm here talking about pretty much everything that everybody's been talking about for a long time since this motherfucker died, allegedly, um, the Epstein files. Yeah, I mean, honestly, y'all, like, I'm gonna be posting like little videos from Instagram and maybe some from TikTok, and stuff like that. So, this whole entire video for is for entertainment purposes, allegedly theory conspiracies. Okay, I'll be putting up a caution sign, this caution sign up to let y'all know none of these are 100% fact. I'm not, everything's alleged, everything's a theory, everything's a conversation. Everything is literally for entertainment purposes, conversation purposes. Yeah, so nothing is confirmed, even though but nothing is confirmed, at least by me. So this is just my opinion, commentary on the things that have been out. So I want to figure out how I want to do this. Do I want to like show certain videos and then have my opinion about it? Or do I want to do my overall opinion? No, because I think I want to show certain videos and then have my opinion about each video that is shown or each picture, or whatever. Um, but yeah, like honestly, yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna post some of these videos and then have my opinion afterwards.
Why is not a single person talking about the fact that on Epstein Island there is a temple used to worship Moloch? Out of all the demons in existence, this is the most disgusting one by a landslide. More people need to be aware of this because this is what's really happening behind closed doors, not some Ryan Garcia publicity stunt crap. This is what's actually happening. Moloch is the demon that specializes in child sacrifice, and this is what these elites are all worshiping. They've been flying out to this island, getting together with their parties, going inside of this temple, and performing rituals involved in what I just explained. By the way, guys, this is the exact same thing that's being worshipped during the red heifer rituals. Moloch is the demon of the cow or bull. That's the image it represents. And I want you guys to really understand this. People in Israel have been worshiping Moloch forever. It's talked about even in Leviticus 18:21. Let me clarify. It has been happening so long that it is even mentioned in the Bible, and the Bible tells us not to sacrifice or give children to Moloch. This is how common it is and how long it's been happening. The whole Epstein files, Epstein listing, it will always come back to this. And you guys can maybe not believe me now, but you are my witness on this. Once the rest of these files come out, it is all going to relate back to that temple and worship for Moloch.
So what I have to feel about this is he's bringing up more of the real deeper conspiracy stuff, like with Moloch or Bahal or whatever. It's all in the same thing. And honestly and truthfully, I'm just gonna keep it real like this. I believe him to an extent. I know that sounds crazy, but I've always said, well, not always said, but I've recently started to say, take 100 conspiracies. 50 of them have to be true. Maybe not as true as, nevertheless true, whether no matter how truthful it is, it's true. And the other ones have to be bullshit and have to be plots or straight up lies or biased views or any of that. Think of conspiracies like that. Take 100 conspiracies. All of them are going to be considered outlandish because it's a conspiracy. But 50 of those 100 are true in some form of way. And the other 50 are, like I said, lies, bullshit, biased views, people trying to fearmonger and all that stuff. Now, what I have to feel about him and what he said, I do feel like he's definitely hitting more of the truly conspiracy thing, because how crazy does it sound that these political figures and these billion and millionaires and these celebrities and stuff are going to a temple on an island and worshiping a demon or a god or a deity that sacrifice kids. But think about everything that has been, think about history, and think about the fact that they don't tell you a lot of stuff, and they omit so much stuff from history. That's why it's so hard with history, because everything that you're taught in school or told is not either the 100% truth or not the truth. And anytime you question that, they call you a conspiracy theorist or say, oh, you just don't want to hear this. I'm somebody that loves history. I love history. But do I believe everything that is told or written? No, because somebody easily can write something in a biased way. Somebody easily can write some bullshit, and then we pick it up thinking that it's, oh my God, and all this, that, and the other, when really it wasn't what it was. It wasn't what it was. And we can do that when it comes to every religion. And then as soon as you start talking about that, people immediately get in their panties and shit about it. It's just like, no, bro. Yes, people lie. What are you talking about? They lie when it comes to religion. They lie when it comes to what they thought they saw, what they do see, and all this other stuff. It's lies. People lie, or people do see something, or are told that they're liars. But think of every conspiracy that was considered a conspiracy until we found out that it was true. Now, maybe it's a little anticlimactic, but overall, it was told that it was a lie, and then we found out that it was true. Anticlimactic, but still the truth, right? Think about that, and think about how our government is. Think about how the world is. Think about how rich people are, and y'all complain about rich people being this and that and evil and all this other stuff. Rich, powerful people. You think they're going to tell you everything? Once again, the world, they keep telling y'all. I'm going to get on that in a minute, but it's just the fact that he's coming in real hard with this. So I do believe him to an extent, but I have to tell you guys this right now. Like, when it comes to anybody telling you anything, whether it's conspiracy, whether it's political, think of the biasness. Think of people that take the truth, because it's bad for a liar. But if a liar is a liar and a truth teller is a truth teller, but it's another type of ick, and another type of distrust, and another type of asshole a tree that comes from somebody that takes part of the truth, or takes a little bit of truth, and then wraps it around a whole web of lies and biased views, and tries to use that truth that is true and try to stamp it as something. Because it's like, it's one thing to lie and then we figure it as a lie. It's another thing to tell the truth. Okay, we all know the truth, right? But it's another thing to take part of the truth and mix it in with lies and mix it in with biased views. So people start getting mind fucked. And it's like, oh, but this was true. So obviously this means this, and this. You know how they say that the world is ruled by Jews and this, that, and the other? Yes, I kind of sort of believe that, but I don't believe it in the way of saying that the Holocaust was okay and Hitler was doing a good. No, 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 no. That's all wrong. That's all wrong. You can't punish all for what a few do, because that's has been done in history. But everything done in history does not mean it was okay or right. Just because it was acceptable doesn't mean it was okay and it was right. And once again, just because it was written down in this in a history book, or we learn about it in school or whatever, or it's just something that everybody does, doesn't make it right. How many times have y'all done something in your family because based off history, that's just what you and your family do through the generations, but y'all don't really know why? Y'all don't understand why. You don't know why. It's just something we have to do because we're told to do it. But if you don't question it, if you don't try to figure out why, or a deeper reason why, we're just told to do it because that's what we're supposed to do, because it's what we're supposed to do. And they give you like a bullshit reason, or a very like manufactured, cut clean reason. So just question everything, honestly, but don't be somebody that just doesn't believe nothing, because it's not always going to be smacked down in your face for you to believe it. Sometimes you're going to have to use your intuition. Sometimes you're going to have to use logic. You got to have discernment. So I do believe him to an extent, because it's really truly what he's talking about. It's definitely more of a believe it to see it type of thing. Kind of like with the flat earth thing, kind of like with the all of that. It's like you have to believe it to see it, because I'm not a flat earther. Won't ever be until we actually see that. But and people like probably would be like, oh, but you believe this, you believe that. I believe that more than I believe this other stuff, because once again, humans have done it over history, and it's like my people want to bring up history when it's convenient to explain what you're trying to say, but then people want to erase history, or it's either they try to bring it up conveniently or try to erase it or pick parts of it to benefit what they're trying to say. Like, that's annoying. You gotta, if you're gonna bring it up, bring it all up. And the things that all really don't matter, bring it up anyway, and then throw it out because it didn't matter. But just so you know that it's all on the table. So what truly doesn't matter can simply get thrown out because, oh well, but you have to bring it up first, right? So, like I said, I believe him to an extent. It's a more of a believe it to see it type of thing, and truly have discernment when it comes to this type of conversation.
Hey, so I know the Epstein files are really bad, but I think there's something worse. I think there's something worse. Just think about it. There's no way they would have released those files. They're doing something way worse than those files, bro. I feel like it has something to do off the coast of Florida. There's too much weird stuff happening. But either way, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that. I think that I don't even have the words to articulate how bad whatever it is they're actually doing is.
What if the Epstein files weren't released to expose the truth, but to hide something way bigger? Stewie, that's freaking crazy. The government released like 900 pages of documents in January 2024. Why would they release stuff to hide stuff? Because of misdirection, you oaf. Oh, like when I tell Lois I'm at work, but I'm really at the drunken clam? Disturbingly accurate analogy. Here's the thing. The files drop names like Bill Clinton, who flew on Epstein's plane 26 times, and Prince Andrew, who had that whole Virginia Giuffre lawsuit settled for $12 million. But notice what's missing. No current sitting politicians, no tech CEOs, no details about Epstein's intelligence connections that reporters talked about for years. So they gave us old scandals? Exactly. They feed the public stuff we already kind of knew, so we stopped asking about what's still hidden. It's called a limited hangout. Good lord, the fat man's actually making sense. The real question isn't what's in the files. It's what's missing, and who made sure it stayed that way. Sweet.
Okay, so with this one, this is the one of why I'm not surprised and won't be surprised about anything and haven't been surprised. And honestly, why a few people, a lot of us aren't really surprised. I'm not scared. I'm not, or I'm scared of anything, but, or not anything, but life altering, world changing things. But at the end of the day, what has to be done has to be done. And if it got to get handled, it has to get handled, or whatever has to get put out there. But I have always, like, it's kind of like they are never going to willingly tell anybody the truth. No government around the world, nobody will willingly tell us the truth about everything. Do you know how much shit they're hiding that we don't know about? How many truths that we don't know about? How many conspiracies that were considered conspiracies, but it's actually the truth? You think they're willing to tell it? And that doesn't mean every conspiracy, of course, but, and it's not to fearmonger anybody, but it's like open your eyes and see that they don't give a fuck about you. They have, like, bro, C-19, come on now, aliens, come on now, everything else, every other reason why, everything else. Literally, wait, literally, didn't we just invade Venezuela? And they sat here and told us it was for they said it was for drug trafficking, but then yet they're over here, they're saying that they're attacking, like, what is it, drug trafficking ships or some shit like that. But whole time it was for oil and minerals and resources, because those places have great resources that help the human body probably. And it's an untapped, so it's an untapped, you know, fucking continent or whatever. Like, they lie. And then they sat here and just wanted us to invade other people, take people from their homes, and do all kinds of weirdo shit. You think these people were willingly telling you anything? Anytime they tell us the truth about something, it's because they're not scared to tell us anymore. They're not worried about, oh, if they find out, the people are going to go against us. They don't care no more. Just like with the whole weather shit, all this snow and shit like that. I think it was somebody, a meteorologist or somebody, that was saying it doesn't make sense for it to be super hot over here and then icy cold over there. There's no medium, there's no middle ground. And then I think some other politician or somebody that's of importance said basically, oh, we tamper with, or he used some form of word, but basically they fuck with the weather. And they've been doing it since Vietnam. Go back. They've been doing it since Vietnam. I look at all those conspiracy things. They was trying to fuck up uh the fucking weather, so I think it can be more beneficial to them. But if, don't quote me on this, but I don't think it worked, because I think the Vietnam people, or Vietnamese people, knew how to maneuver around their jungle and shit. They literally been doing it. Like, have you not heard of the fucking silent pistol? Like, all of that stuff, and that was back in the 70s, 60s, 50s. They've been doing shit like this. Imagine what they're doing now, and we just don't know. Like, come on now. They were more like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Like, come on, bro. Like, they're not gonna tell you the truth willingly. They only tell you the truth if something else is coming up, or if they aren't really afraid or don't really care anymore to tell you the truth. And sometimes they be telling you the truth in your face. Predictive programming. Let's go back to 9/11. Let's go back to that. How it was so many things and so many little, like in cartoons, like in Johnny Bravo, it was I think it was an episode that came out, I think in April of 2001. showing like and they put it in like little things. They show little bits and pieces of it, but they show it so much to where it's like they're trying to tell us without telling us. It's like they're not scared to put it in our face, but they're scared to actually tell us what they're doing, because obviously that will shatter the world, that will break the illusion, break the matrix. We'll figure out that we're stronger as humans than anybody than we really thought. The lies and stuff, just think about it. Like, think about all the diseases and viruses and how they randomly come out of nowhere. Not everyone, not every single one. You have to use discernment. You can't say it for everything. It's okay, like, but think about it, especially with C-19. Like, come the fuck on, guys. Come the fuck on. You can't be so scared and so walking around with your tin hat, but you can't sit here and think that people are gonna have you, like the government, any government is gonna have your back. They'll sit here and talk shit about the other governments and how they're wrong and how they do this. That's true, but they do the same thing, if not worse. So it's just like, it's just like, how, like, why don't believe everything they tell you? Because with these fucking files, there are so much shit in it. You wonder why it took so long for us to find out what was in there. And we're getting the bare minimum. We're getting the little bits of shit. We're getting shit we already knew. Like, come on now. You think they're gonna really do this? They was trying so hard not to show us. Now they have to show us because the spotlight's on the government and on the people that were allegedly there. So they have to, it's more of a, here, take this. So it's somewhat truth. They'll have a few fall guys, because Epstein is definitely a fall guy. But is he the only guy? No, he's not. And we know that. They put shit in your face because when you have power, when you have money, notoriety, you think you can't be touched. And then you try to play victim afterwards, and then you try to lie. Then you try to use people's trauma or other situations to come up. Let's talk about real quick, even though I know it didn't have nothing to do with these two videos, the whole Bad Bunny. And apparently I didn't watch the performance. I don't watch the Super Bowl. I don't care. But apparently he performed and Trump had something to say about it, and I'm pretty sure Trumpers had something to say about it or whatever. I don't listen to Bad Bunny music. I don't give a fuck. But it's the fact that, why are we talking about that when these Epstein files just came out? Let's talk more about that. Can we talk more about that? But no, we have to divert to something like this. Like, and it's like the outrage about this. And look, I don't even want to get into this whole shit, but you know how I hate when they look. I'm not trying to come at trans people, but I'm gonna come at y'all. But I'm not coming at y'all. So basically, it's kind of like, when it comes to trans people or drag queens, you know how they say, oh, I don't want my kids around them because they'll molest them or whatever the case may be. But whole time you have somebody in the church who is supposed to be of God and molesting all the kids. But once again, you never know who's gonna do that to your kid until you know. And then sometimes the red flags be in y'all face, but just because somebody throws God in y'all face, y'all tend to tend to look the other way. And then somebody else that they consider, I guess, the LGBT or trans people or whatever against God or whatever in a way, right? So obviously they would do something bad, and it's just like, I don't know, bro. Like, it's shit like that. It's like all the motherfuckers could do it. Anybody could do it. So stop thinking that nobody would. But then yet you have to have discernment. You think anybody could do you dirty. Doesn't matter who they are, what their background is, or anything. But you can't believe that every church person is going to do that to you. You can't believe that every trans or drag queen is going to do something to your kids or whatever. You can't believe that, because you can't. But it's just a thing, because they all could do it to you, but you can't always believe that, oh, they will and they will, da, da, da. And I understand patterns and stuff like that, and you have to focus on the patterns. But if the patterns are, if they're aligned, so it's just like, when it comes to stuff specifically like molestation or hurting children, trust and believe anybody would do that. Anybody. You wouldn't think it would be a drag queen, but it would. You wouldn't think it'd be somebody in the church, but it would. You wouldn't think it would be your neighborhood watch person. You wouldn't think it would be a police. You wouldn't think it would be your mother. You wouldn't think it would be your brother, sister, cousin, friend. You wouldn't think, but it would be them. When it comes to specifically, I'm not talking about nothing else, but comes to harming children in any way, it will literally be any type of person, any type. So that one you definitely have to, I would say, have your tinfoil hat on for. Because as soon as you don't believe they would, you find out that they did already. Just not to your kid, but they did to plenty before and plenty after or plenty during. So I just think about it like that. But I just had to say that real quick because I just think it's so funny. Like, why are we not focused on the Epstein files, right? Right? That's the biggest thing that came out, right? Even though half of the shit that we've been told we already knew about, we want to know what we don't know about, what's not being discussed. But they're not going to tell you that willingly, no. Because anytime something comes out, it's always a conspiracy or whatever. But then you see how certain people that try to expose certain things or try to do certain things, like the motherfuckers that have cures for these diseases that we said weren't cures or nothing like that for, why did they miraculously die? Like, come on now, start thinking. So yeah, they're not willingly going to tell you anything. They're going to give you some bullshit you already knew, and it's not going to be exciting.
Adrenochrome, that's not true. It's C9H9NO3. This is a chemical compound that is absolutely listed. It's been around in modern science since the 1930s. You can actually, there's a synthetic form and there's a regular, natural form, which is caused by torturing little kids to get their adrenaline up, essentially, and then extracting it from them. When you sit and so I brought this up a few years ago, and all of a sudden I was attacked by every media. Look it up. It's there. They absolutely went after me. And the next day, I never heard from my agency for 14 months. My lawyers let me go. My agency never called me after that, and essentially I was done.
All right, so adrenochrome. I've heard about this a while. It's sad, honestly. Do I believe it? Yeah, I do. I do. It's like I believe it, but it's like my mind is trying to not believe it because there's no facts. But I'm using full intuition on this one. I believe it based off my intuition. Now, it could not be fully true, but based off my intuition, I believe it because of just things that you see, and when you just sit back and think about it, and when you hear this and hear that, and then hear the little sayings that they say in Hollywood, and like how it's every time you turn around it's a celebrity being drained. Literally, it looks like they're being drained, like they just got their blood sucked by a vampire and they're like drained, and then out of nowhere they'll pop back out. It's like, oh, they got healthy or whatever. Okay, cool, they can get healthy, but I mean, hell, just look at Ariana Grande. But and I'm not saying every celebrity or nothing, and allegedly, conspiracy theory, whatever. But when it comes to this is definitely one of the sad ones, and it's harder to talk about because anybody that loves kids or has kids of their own or just doesn't like innocence being taken away. I do believe it, and it's just like kids are the lightest, brightest thing. Anything younger, and people know they don't care about kids. They always want to bring up the kids every 5 seconds. The kids are really a scapegoat. The kids are really just a cash cow or property in some form of way. Like, they treat your kids horribly. And like I said earlier, it can be anybody. When it comes to specifically harming children, it can and will be anybody. And you wouldn't even think that. When it comes to stuff like that, you can't trust nobody like that. And when you do trust them, make sure you truly do trust them, because you just never know, right? So it's just like, obviously, the theory or whatever is, when a kid is harmed at a specific time or enough, it's about harnessing their energy, siphoning their energy to gain immortality and gain this. It sounds so fucking crazy, but everything sounds crazy when you really think about it. A lot of things in religion sound crazy as fuck, but y'all believe that. Even if it's true, not true, it sounds, all of it, the truth sounds crazy, the lie sounds crazy. It all sounds crazy, but y'all believe that, or y'all pick and choose when to believe that. So why is it, oh, because it's something darker? But then yet we know demons and devils exist, Satanism exists, and all of that stuff, right? Evil people exist, and they use religion, they use trauma, they use your beliefs, they use so much to make you to mask themselves, right? Secret societies have always been here and are still here. They're operating so much shit that we don't even know. And if we would have found that out, we realized that a lot of shit was set up, a lot of shit was staged. And at the end of the day, the kids are always the draw, the profit of it, of like because they're the easiest thing, they're the most innocent thing, and like when something has been tampered with and old and raggedy and disgusting, you don't want it. It don't got nothing for you, but that new fresh thing, you want it all and want to take it all for yourself, and you don't care how to get it. And that includes children. And it's sad. It's sad because of course not just abuse, like beatings, sexual abuse, which is fucking horrible. And it's just hard to even think about that. Like, but you have to know something and think some way, and it's just like, and what I wanted to say about it when it came to like, because the first video brought up Ryan Garcia and his publicity stunt and all that. So I want to talk about that like this. It's like, do I believe it's publicity stunt? Yeah, but do I feel like it was like this? Like I said, somebody taking the truth and mixing around with a whole bunch of biasness and lies and mixing around with all this other shit so it looks like a publicity stunt. Do I believe it was a publicity stunt? Yes. Do I believe he was telling the truth? Yes. He was telling the truth, but in some type of way to profit himself. He would have never told the truth. You think he would have told the truth if he wasn't trying to get a profit? He told the truth to get a profit, which always makes me look at him weird, but he's a great fighter though. Great, amazing. But at the end of the day, it makes him look at him weird because it doesn't. That's why I say when it comes to harming kids or using kids, you will see how many people don't speak up. You will see how many people sit back and let shit happen. You will see how many people, even more people, would actually do something. Because if they're getting something, it's not even just always about sexual satisfaction or just the satisfaction of beating a kid. Or maybe you're crazy and you just see a kid as you and you want to beat them because you got beat on. It's not always about that. It's not always your local rapist across the street. It's not always your local pedophile working at the store. It's not always them. It's them, and then there's other motherfuckers, like a whole sex traffic ring. It's so much shit. It's so much shit. It's so much shit. You can't never think that it won't ever happen or it doesn't happen, because it happens and it's happening right under our feet, literally. When I don't even want to go that deep, but when you're sleeping at night, just know that some other kid is sleeping somewhere they're not supposed to be at, and some woman is wondering about where her kid's at. And then think about places like, think about all these high profile grocery stores and stuff, and think about conspiracies with them. Are all of them truthful? Of course not. But it's like, they use kids a lot, man. And I do believe what Ryan Garcia said, but that's where it comes with the whole, he did it only because he wanted to profit. He did it because he only wanted some publicity for his career. He probably saw something or was forced into something or tricked into something or to see something or whatever, and he's telling the truth about it. But then you pull it back when you finally come back and get what you want. You're selfish. Now, we don't know all the truth. I hope he wasn't lying. I believe him. But I'm kind of like, fuck you, because you don't care. You don't care because it's him against the industry. You think they won't take him out? Please. You think they won't take him out? So he's probably scared. But I just feel like when it comes to that, it's other ways you can do it. But then yet, who do you run to when you figure out the FBI, police, all these people that are supposed to protect and serve? They're a part of it too. And they're going to make sure nobody gets caught. And if anybody gets caught, then they're going to be the fall guy. And everybody's going to flip on them like they're doing with the Diddler. They're going to flip on them. They're never going to have... It's crazy. And it's sad because it's like, it be celebrities you wouldn't think of. So, I don't know. It's just, it's very sad. Do I believe it? Yes. And I'm going to keep saying I believe it.
They're not even trying to hide it anymore.
With this very bizarre ad, she walks into a maternity ward, blows glitter around the room. Well, Celine Dion and the founders of this brand explained themselves.
Evil is real, organized, deliberate, and they display it openly. For a long time, I thought it was accidental, aesthetic, nothing intentional. I was wrong, and they were never really hiding it. Just kept making it more and more obvious.
Yes, we do consume each other's blood.
The conspiracies were never theories, and if we're being honest, they never really went away. It's always been here. They repeat the same symbols, the same rituals.
And you told me to cut the baby's head off, but you forced me to.
There are ancient patterns hiding in plain sight. And the thing about rituals, no one repeats a ritual that they think is meaningless. Another pattern that I can't ignore, there's only one they keep mocking, only one they imitate. There's only one they won't leave alone. Lord have mercy on us.
Now with this last one, I do believe it. I will have to say that this creator, whoever this person is, he definitely is trying to do a little bit of not fear mongering, but the whole at the end Jesus thing of mocking Jesus. They do mock Jesus, but y'all have to think that I don't know. I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Jesus may not be who y'all thought that Jesus was just because it was written in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Going back to that, like Jesus was. I don't know. I think Jesus was a real person and was doing good, but I don't think Jesus was. I don't know. Because one minute I say I don't think he's the divine, I don't think he's a prophet, but I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like when you try to base it that way, it's kind of like, but what about the other guys? I don't know. It's just that stuff always immediately triggers me. But I believe everything else. Like I said, like I believe everything else. Like they do it in plain sight. We want to bring up history and then all these rituals and all this religious stuff that they did in the past. You don't think they're finding another way to do it now? And once again, with these files, there's nothing surprising. It's surprising to believe that these people were doing these things that they said they didn't do, despite us knowing that they did it. And it's surprising about everything else that we don't know that they're keeping from us, and they're going to continue to keep from us until it's either leaked out or until something else worse happens for it to be brought out, or until we just decide to make a stance and say, fuck it, we're just going to do it all. Because they can't get us all if we all expose everything, all the government people. If we all expose everything, they can't get us all. Can they? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just nuke the world. I don't know. That would be scary as hell, but I don't know. I just rather know the truth. And once again, when it comes to these children, that's the worst part of it all. Because why is it always a virgin or a blood sacrifice from a child or a pregnant woman or an infant? Like, yo, or good people, or just good people, good man, good woman, like decent people, people that actually represent love and equality and all that extra shit. Like, sad. And they sit here and they use each other and say each other is the devil. All of them are the devil. Think of it like that. Think of every political view, every political anything. Because why all of a sudden did Joe Biden say that it was an oligarchy or whatever the fuck it was? We've been known that. We've been known that. Why you want to say it now? Oldie, what? We've been known that, but that didn't stop nobody, did it? Nope. They still voted like voting matters. Voting doesn't. I'm sorry, it don't. So whatever. Waste of fucking time, waste of fucking space. It's all a fucking puppet show, like I said before. Um, yeah, Epstein, he's not the only one. He's just the new fall guy. He's just the face. Kind of like that's it. That's pretty much it. He's done horrible things. He's got money. He all of that. He could do horrible things, and people will back him up because they're doing the same thing too. Right? And it's just so many things that happen in the world that y'all think are just random events or just, oh, no, bro. A lot of that stuff was planned or set up. But they'll never tell you until 15 to 25 years later and you find out that it was all a setup. And only maybe one thing was the surprising thing. Fuck out of here. Like, come on now. At the end of the day, fuck all these people. All of them are demons. All of them are devils. Fuck all of them. All of them need to be aired out, put out in some form of way, but you know they're not going to go down without a fight or without a lie or without playing victim. Kind of like with Mr. Combs, how he in jail or whatever, I know he was writing notes or speaking from jail or talking about how, oh, I'm not playing victim and I don't want to show that I'm weak. It's just like, bruh, while telling us all the good things he was doing in jail, I'm like, how about you should have been doing those good things when you had that money? How about you should have been doing good things when you was just a normal person? Do those good things then. Don't want to do it now that you're in jail as the fall guy because you're not the only one. Start spilling the beans so we can get all you motherfuckers. But do I think that I don't know, because I think that maybe they could clone him. I don't fucking know anymore. I don't know. Do we all think Epstein is dead? No. Not surprising if he's not. But do you think they're going to tell you that? No, of course not. There was somebody at my job that looked like Epstein, and I was like, there you go. There you go, right there. We trying to figure out where he at. People saying he dead, but some people saying he's alive. There he is, right there. That's what I was thinking, because he looked just like him. Like same hair, same face, everything. Maybe height difference, but I don't know how tall Epstein is, so I don't know. But at the end of the day, bro, this is not surprising to me. None of this. Do I believe everything? No. But do I believe most things when it comes to situations in these type of ways, when you're exposing Hollywood, Hollyweird, or any of that? I believe all of that. And to an extent, depending on what it is or whatever. But it's just like, this is stuff we already knew, bro. Until we blow up the eye or figure out some shit. Like, come on now. Come on now. It's just like, it's going to get worse, because everything needs to be exposed, and however it does is however it does. But are y'all going to be able to handle the truth, or are y'all going to be able to believe the truth when it comes out? Because that's the total difference between, oh, we want the truth. Are you going to be able to handle it if it comes out, or are you going to believe it? Because that's what I'm worried about. Are y'all going to believe the truth now, even though it was told plenty of times? Are you going to believe it now? Or are you going to be able to handle it and not go crazy? Because it's going to be hard to do that as well. So I don't know, but everything in Epstein files is stuff we already knew, and they're omitting way more. They're probably telling us 10% when there's a whole another 80% that we haven't found out about, that they're not going to willingly tell us about. That's why we have to search for it. They're not going to do that. That will crack the code of what the world really is. That will break the matrix. That will break everything on earth. They're not going to give civilians that key to the world. Come on now. They call conspiracy theories crazy all the time. They call people that are psychics or whatever, or this, that, and the other, they call them insane. And once again, you have false prophets everywhere. There's some people that can have a power, like maybe, I don't fucking know, some spiritual power or some shit like that. Like, look at Sloan Bella. They could be, let's say it's somebody just as powerful in her mind as her, but then yet they're using it for personal gain or evil. People do it all the time. There's good and bad and everything, yin and yang and everything, light and dark and everything. You have to have discernment with everything. Okay? It can seem weird over here, but it seems right over here. You got to use your logic and intuition, no matter what society tell you, because society set us up to be dumb, be stupid, be guinea pigs, not know shit, procreate with people you don't like, and then die. And then so they can use you up until you die. Like, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Well, and I forgot, it was that fucking documentary with that little boy that went missing with he had a little red wagon. He had went missing. I think he was the first kid on the, you know how they used to put missing kids on the milk carton or whatever back in the way back day. So I think he was the first one or something like that, or he started all that. But it was a documentary about him, about how he was alive or whatever, but he was saying how there were so many government officials and important people that were keeping him and doing things to him and all this stuff, and that's why they haven't found him. It's not that he can't be found, it's that people that are of importance, that's supposed to protect you, the people that you would never think would do it, are hiding him. Like, they're not, like, come on, the mayor and shit. Like, I forgot what that was about, but I gotta figure that shit out so I can go back and look at the documentary or whatever. So yeah, just know that shit happens. Fuck Epstein, fuck Trump, fuck Biden, fuck all of these motherfuckers. Fuck them all. Stop trying to make everything a political thing. It's all a puppet show for y'all dumb motherfuckers. Stop. You don't have to be a conspiracy theorist. You don't have to walk around with your tin hat, but sometimes you might have to walk around with that tin hat. Sometimes you're gonna have to look at what you see. They're not going to tell you it's the answer. If you know it's the answer or feel like it's the answer, it's nothing wrong with making that leap and saying that it is. Because y'all make a leap every time y'all go over there to vote. Hell, life is a damn leap, a leap of faith. So make a leap of faith when it comes to something that you feel or think or know that is the truth, even though it does not say it, because it's not going to do that. That's too easy. That's too easy. Do you know, is this the right answer? Here's a multiple choice question. Here's the right answer. The right answer is in there. You see it. They're not going to tell you this is the answer. Come on now. And sometimes you're going to have to figure out the answer and write it down, which is the worst type of fucking questions. Word problems and the ones that you got to actually write down. Ugh. Multiple choice is the best. But it's just like, come on now, y'all. Don't be surprised. Just expose more. And know that more's coming, and know that something else worse is coming up too, because why would they willingly tell us anything? That's why conspiracies exist. They have to label people that tell the truth about something or partial truth about something that they're trying to hide as a liar or conspiracy theorist. Crazy. Start looking into it. Start using your brain. Don't think that everything is bad. Don't think that everything is good. Stop doing that. And fuck politics. So I'm sorry. I just don't get into that. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It's all a fucking show for their amusement. Until we start speaking up, until we start seeing things, until we start being dumb, stop being dumb and stop falling for the okey doke and rip off their mask if we can. But if we can't, just know that is a mask and call it out. They're gonna sit there and they're gonna be like, oh shit, because they're gonna keep trying to come at you with certain things. And then notice all this stuff. Like even with this, I know this is so stupid and people talk about it before, but even with food, like why is it that you can have food stamps for food that's not good for you, that keeps you fat, unhealthy, and dumb, but then yet food that's healthy for you, that your body needs, you have to pay a high price for that? Why is that? Why would the healthy stuff not be less because it's healthy, but then give people the choice? It's either, how about this? Both are the same price. Okay? Both are the same price. You choose what you want. They're both the same price. You either choose the sweeter, more healthy, more comforting food, or more unhealthy, more sweeter comfort food, or do you go choose the healthy food that might be a little bitter or a little, you got to get used to the taste. It has a little sweetness, but not as much as I like. Have civilians have that choice. But once again, I'm asking for too much when I ask for that, because they want you dumb, they want you stupid, they want you not thinking about the truth. They want you doing a whole bunch of book work. We all know school is a fucking sham. We all know that. Really, there, because if we're taught certain, like, we half of the stuff, majority of the stuff in school, you will never use in real life. You will never use. So if I'm talking to anybody that's 5 years old or 10 years old, half of that shit you will never use, but they tell you that you will because maybe you'll use it for one job at one moment. But then we know all this corrupt shit is all around the world. So let's say you went to school, did all this schooling, did all straight A's, did all that stuff, didn't have a life at all, didn't get outside the house unless you were doing something related to school or work. You get a good job, good pay, and then you realize that retirement ain't shit. You realize that you didn't even have to do all that because somebody that didn't do all that gets to get put on to you, so that gets put on to the same situation or higher than you. And then you're over here mad at the world because I had to go through all that. And I get why you're mad. But at the end of the day, it's just like that's how the world works sometimes. They push people that they want up that don't deserve it. So then you need to make a stance and say, you know what? I'm gonna take my money and everything I got and I'm gonna build my own shit. And they're gonna be, oh, but you need a job, and then okay, shut the fuck up. They'll tell you motherfuckers whatever. You have a whole fucking billionaire that has an island of itself and you're over there fucking ritualizing kids and shit. Get the fuck out of my face. Is that what you do with your money? Fuck out of here. Fucking demons. Get out of here. So yeah, that's it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and hype up the video.